In this video, we're going to be doing some store reviews. My name is Paul J Lipsky. I help people learn how to dropship on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. And today we're going to look at some eBay dropshipping stores, and I'm going to show you what I think the sellers are doing right and how they can improve. Hopefully you learn something from this so you can then do an analysis of your own store to make it better. So this is the first seller right here. This is one of the items that they're selling. And immediately I want to highlight a couple of things that I noticed about their listing. So first we'll start with the title. It's definitely one of the most important things for getting your item noticed and your items sold. You can see it says new Duck brand Easy Start packing tape, 1.88 inches times 54.6 yards, clear 8 count USA. And the thing about this is if you find this item on your supplier's website, which I did right here, here it is on Walmart, it's pretty much the same title. They just threw in a couple of different words here, like the word new and the word USA. I don't think that's really great optimization of title. When you're drop shipping on eBay, one of the things you really want to learn how to do is how to optimize your titles. And by that I mean using titles that are full of keywords that people are actually going to be searching for when they are looking for this item. So this seller added the words USA and new in here. I don't think those words are necessary at all. I think they just take up extra space, and you can instead use that space for something that people are actually going to search for that's not in here. So you have the word packing tape, maybe like the word package tape or something like that. I think adding the word brand isn't necessary as well. You see the original one doesn't have that. So you could delete that and fill it up with another keyword that people are actually going to be searching for when they're looking for this, because they're not going to be searching for the word brand. A lot of times I'll tell sellers to delete the name brand. So in this case, the name brand is Duck. That is the name of the tape company that makes this. A lot of times I'll tell people to delete those brand names, but when it's a brand that people are actively going to be searching for and want to buy, then you can leave it in there. In this case, Duck is a reputable brand when it comes to tape, so I think it was a good idea to leave that in there, but I don't think you needed to add the word brand in there. You can use different websites like Title Builder. Zeek Analytics has a title builder built in as well, and you can use either one of those to kind of help you build a title and to research keywords that people are actually going to be searching for. So that's what I would work on with the title. Now coming over to the images here, you have this image, this image, this image, this image, this image, and then they just repeat. This is a good thing, okay? Because the supplier here only gave you 1, 2, 3, or 4 images, right? You use those 4 images and then you repeated them. And that's because eBay only allows you to have up to 12 photos, but you should max out the number of photos that you can add. You should have all 12 slots full when you list your item up for sale. Even if you only have 4 images, you want to repeat those 3 times so that you then fill up all 12 slots, which is exactly what you did here, which is cool to see. Another way to do that, if you want to put a little bit more work in, is try to find this item on other websites, see if they have other images, and you can use those ones instead. Like I don't think you have this one in here, but I think this was a good one to exclude because it doesn't include all of that stuff. So I think that was actually a good call there. Now the main image you have here is this one. It is a picture that shows all 8 of the rolls that you're going to get when you purchase this bundled together. There are some other images here like this one that kind of displays how the tape is used. Here's a single one. A lot of times, actually most times, I prefer to use a main image like this one that really demonstrates how the product is used. In this situation, however, I think this seller made the right call by using an image like this one, even though it has a blank background that doesn't really show how the item is used. And that's because this clearly demonstrates exactly what the buyer is going to get. They're going to get 8 rolls bundled together like this. If this was a listing for just 1 roll, then I think this would have been the ideal image, or maybe this one, but again, I like one that really shows how the product is being used, okay? The other thing here is with these images, this one shows that it's being used with this tape gun. It's really important then to have somewhere here, maybe even on the image, something that states that it doesn't come with the tape gun. It just comes with the actual tape, because you're always going to get buyers who said, I thought this came with the tape tape gun. The image showed the tape gun, so I thought it came with it. So you should really put somewhere that no, it's not going to come with the tape gun included. All right, let's keep looking here. You can see right here the price, and next to it says buy it now. That means that no one's going to bid on this. They just click here and go through the purchase process and buy it directly on here. That's exactly what you want for drop shipping. We don't do auctions. Let's not waste our time doing that. We're selling new items at a set price. People just click buy it now or add to cart, and that's it. You have free shipping and free returns. Free standard shipping, estimated 4 business days, and seller pays for return shipping. So there's a few things I want to unpack there. First of all, you have free shipping, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want as a drop shipper. You always want to offer free shipping. On eBay, that is the expectation. So never charge customers for shipping, because what's going to happen is they're going to add the item to their cart, see that shipping costs extra and be like, whoa, I have to pay for shipping? I never have to pay for shipping when I buy items on eBay. So they're not going to complete the checkout process. So to avoid that from happening, offer free shipping. Now, even if your supplier charges you for shipping, so let's say on Walmart for this tape, the tape costs a certain amount of money and they charge you another $7 or $8 to ship the items. In that case, you just want to add that into the cost of the item. So whatever they sell it for here on eBay, you want that to include the price of the item on your supplier's website, plus the cost of shipping, plus any sales tax you have to pay unless you're sales tax exempt, and then your eBay fees, plus also profit as well. All of that's baked into this price right here. And you can use websites like SaleCalc to actually do all that for you so you don't forget to do anything. Or if you use a software like AutoDS to list items, it will do that automatically for you as well, as long as you set up the settings correctly. The thing that I think you have wrong here, or that I think's not ideal, I should say, is that you have 4 business handling days. Handling days is how long it's going to take before the item's actually shipped out. Between the moment of the sale and the moment the item shipped out, that's the handling time. You don't want it to be more than 3 days, because if it's more than 3 handling days, then this message is going to pop up right here. This flag that says includes 4 business days, and it's going to have a longer estimated delivery. When buyers see this, they're less likely to purchase from you. They're more likely to purchase it from someone who has a faster handling and shipping time. Even if buyers are willing to kind of put up with that longer handling time, eBay will put your listing lower in the search results compared to someone who only has 3 business day handling time. So keep it at 3 days or less. 3 days is more than fine. And then that way you rank better than people with 4-day handling times. Returns, 30-day return policy. That's perfect. That's standard. That's what you have to do. And then seller pays for return shipping. So the alternative is the buyer pays for return shipping. If the buyer pays for return shipping, then that only applies in cases of buyer's remorse. In other words, where the buyer purchased the item, they got it, and then they decided they don't want it. In that situation, if you have buyer pays for return shipping, then the buyer would have to pay to ship the item back. But in every other situation, like if the item arrived late, it arrived damaged, it was the wrong item, even if you put down here buyer pays for return shipping, then you would still have to pay for return shipping. Now, in actuality, what is going to happen in any situation is if a buyer wants to return an item, you should let them return it, and it's not going to cost you any money, because all you're going to do is go over to your supplier like Walmart, you're going to tell them you want to return this item. Walmart will send you a prepaid return label that you'll have on your computer. You can then send it to the customer on eBay. They'll print it out, put it on a box, ship the item back to Walmart. Walmart will refund you, you'll refund the customer, and that's it. So it's always free returns for you for most suppliers. So in this case, what the seller did was they just passed along that benefit to the buyers. There's kind of a debate on this about which way you should go with this. If you do seller pays for return shipping, like this seller did right here, then it is supposed to result in you getting more sales, because that's part of the algorithm. eBay should rank your listings higher. The fear here is that buyers are going to abuse that, right? And they're just going to buy it, try it out, and then return it. The problem is, even if that's your mindset, buyers can still do that and just lie about the reason for the return. They can just say, hey, this arrived damaged, even though it really didn't, because they just want a free return. And like I said before, it's not going to cost you any money to return the item anyway, because you're just getting the return label from your supplier. So you could experiment with this yourself. I still say buyer pays for return shipping just to kind of cut down on those returns a bit, but I understand the reasoning behind seller pays for return shipping, because it's free shipping, free return shipping for you anyway, so it doesn't hurt too much to offer that to your buyers. buyers. So scrolling down further now, well, one other thing I want to say right here, this says it ships from the United States, which is accurate. I only point this out because if you are drop shipping from China, like you're using AliExpress, for instance, don't lie about where the item is coming from. Don't say it comes from the United States when in fact it's coming from China, because that is a way to get in trouble with eBay. In general though, I think it's a better idea to dropship from US-based suppliers and not to dropship from China because of the long handling and shipping times. Okay, now we can scroll down and let's look at the actual listing here, at the description. So, wow. One thing that I do not like about this is the lack of item specifics. This box right here has the item specifics, has condition, which is new, brand, size, color, type, and count per pack. This is pretty bare for this item. The more item specifics you have, the better. The higher eBay is going to rank you in the search results, the more likely it is that buyers will find your items when they're looking for this particular item. So you want as many item specifics as you can. When you're listing your item, whether you're doing it directly on eBay or you're using a software like AutoDS, you will have the chance to fill in these item specifics. The software will actually fill in a lot of them for you, but then you can actually fill in even more of them. And you should do as many as you can within reason, because you don't want to spend too much time doing it. But eBay has been emphasizing this more and more and more, these item specifics. So you should be filling these out. And this is not a ton of them right here. Particularly right here, the brand, it says unbranded. Again, this is a brand that the Duck brand is a brand that people like and trust and would be searching for. So it would actually help you to put in Duck right here. Also, under the type, it says duct tape, and that's incorrect. This is not duct tape. This is packing tape. It's different because it's clear. So that's going to create some, I wouldn't say confusion, because most buyers won't actually look at this, but it will create some inconsistencies when people are searching for duct tape or packing tape. Your item might show up when it's not supposed to and won't show up when it's supposed to potentially. So you can actually update that to make it better and fill in more item specifics. Now coming down here to the actual description, what you see here is this template of a description that makes it look really bold and nice, right? It says free shipping, 30 days returns, easy payment, Black Friday, 50% off. I am filming this at the end of December, so keep that in mind for the context of this. I have generally found over the years that I do not like these types of descriptions that have these images or these borders around them. I have found that plain text descriptions do much better. Like if the description was just all of this. And my theory behind that is that that is easier for eBay to scan and search. If eBay scans this description, they're going to get not only all this text, but all the HTML that goes into this, or however it works to get these images in here. I think having images in there are fine of the actual product, but I would not have all of this stuff up here. The other problem with this is that it's no longer Black Friday. So unless you have a way or a system of updating all of these templates as times change, someone might come to this and say like, oh my gosh, it's not Black Friday anymore. That was like months ago. Is this store even still running and operational? Are they even professional? So it might put off some buyers as well. And it just takes longer for the buyers to actually get to the description down here. So I would not include something like this at all. The other thing is if you are using plain text, I wouldn't use colors like this, generally just black for the font color. And that's because it makes it a bit harder to read this when it's a color like blue. You kind of have to squint and lean in a little bit to read it a little bit better. Let's actually look at the description. I'm sure it's just copied directly from Walmart, which is for the most part fine because that's all you're going to do. But you do want to make sure that there's nothing in here that shouldn't be in here. So let me just quickly scan this. Now what I'm looking for is if it says the word Walmart in there, if it says something like a website to go to or a phone number or an email address. I don't see any of that. So either that wasn't in there or it was removed. Also, any sort of warranty I remove as well, because those generally don't pass along to the buyer either. Yeah, and just again, I would put in here something that says that it doesn't come with this tape gun. That's not included. It's only the tape. Unless I'm mistaken about that, but I don't think I am. I don't think it comes with that. If it does come with that, then you should put in here that it does come with the tape gun, because I'm confused looking at it. And if I'm confused, buyers are going to be confused as well. So you definitely want to clarify that in here. Also, the use of the images is kind of messy. You know, we have this and this image and then like a repeat, but it also has this. So it's a little bit messy. You always want to make sure it looks kind of clean and professional and make sure it's cleaned up like that. Down here, you have some reviews, which I guess are fine, but they don't actually look too real to me. A lot of times people will put at the bottom all of their business policies. So they'll say like how quickly they ship out items, what shipping methods they use, different things like that, their return policy. Don't do that because those will change as time goes on. And if they change, you have to go into all your listings and update all of them. So it's not worth it to include it there at all, especially when the buyers can just come up here and find all of that information right under shipping and payments tab. So coming under here in the shipping and payments, this kind of tells you the shipping methods that the seller uses, things like that. So first up, it says item location, multiple locations, United States. That's great. That's what you want to have. As drop shippers, we are drop shipping from like Walmart. So in the case of Walmart, if a customer in California buys this tape, then the seller is going to buy from Walmart and Walmart will ship it from one of their California warehouses. If a customer in New York purchases the item, then it's going to ship from one of the warehouses on the East Coast. So you don't have an exact zip code as to where this item is going to ship from. So we put multiple locations and that has worked fine for us. And it says it ships to the United States, but this is part that's really important. You have to exclude certain places. So this excludes PO boxes, which you want because PO boxes, you can only ship to them with United States Postal Service. They don't ship there with UPS or FedEx or anything else. And a lot of times Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, these other places will ship with services other than United States Postal Service. We also exclude the APO, FPO, Alaska and Hawaii, and kind of all of these ones like the US protectorates mainly. I guess they ship some, it says ships to the United States, but then they exclude some foreign countries as well. Whatever, the main ones you want to exclude are PO boxes, APO, FPO, Alaska, Hawaii, and the US protectorates. Free shipping to the United States, standard shipping. This kind of gives you a date range, and then the handling time is 4 days, which again, I think should be shorter than that. 30-day return policy, money back, seller pays for return shipping. The only thing I'll add about that is the refund will be given as money back. That's good. There is an option to instead have a replacement item, but you don't want to offer that. It just kind of makes it more confusing for everyone as a drop shipper. It's better just to refund them their money. They still want it. They can reorder the correct item that they're looking for. All right, let's scroll up to the top because I actually want to look at their storefront. If we come to seller information, I can click on their name and this will bring me to their storefront. So I see they have 472 items for sale. Let's see how long they've been selling for. So only a few months. So they're doing really, really well. All these things that I'm recommending will help them do even better. But as you saw, they're selling items. They sold that item we were looking at many times already. They already have 92 feedback. They already have 472 items. So after just a few months, they're really doing very well. These things will just kind of make their store do even better. First up, right here at the top, they don't have any sort of logo in here. It's not a huge deal. You can kind of customize this and get a logo here. You can go over to Fiverr and pay like a few dollars to get one of those. It doesn't hurt to do it. It just kind of makes you look a little bit more professional if you get like a little bit of a logo here. Also, the name of the store, it's not the worst thing. This is probably one that was given to them by default. You can make a better store name, one that actually looks like a real store name, and put that in there. Again, this is not going to make a huge difference, but anyone coming to the storefront, they'll feel a little bit more comfortable buying from you if there's some sort of logo here and like a matching sort of name for your store, just to make it look a little bit nice. Coming into your feedback now, I see you're doing pretty well here. So you're obviously asking for feedback, which is really important. Anytime you're making a sale, you want to actually afterward follow up, assuming everything goes well, follow up with the buyer and actually ask them for positive feedback. You can actually program the software to do that for you automatically. So that can be done and you want to set that up so you get more positive feedback. But I see you have 2 neutral and 1 negative feedback as well. Now, neutral feedback doesn't matter so much, so I wouldn't stress out about it. It says, why hasn't just shipped yet? Item as described, it was drop shipped from Walmart, who has it for $3 cheaper. I wouldn't worry about that too much. You could definitely call in and get this one removed where they mention a competitor, but sometimes you don't want to stir the pot at all. But neutral feedback, it doesn't affect your rating score at all. So yeah, you could just leave it, no big deal. Well, let's look at your negative feedback, see what's going on with that. Buyers beware, received 1 roll of novelty tape instead of the 8 rolls of plain tape that I ordered. Seller said he would refund, but never did so I had an opening case with eBay. All right, this is kind of stuff that you don't want to happen. Obviously what happened was the customer got the wrong item. Not sure how that happened. Maybe what happened was you ordered the wrong one by mistake. Maybe Walmart sent them the wrong one. It's actually the exact item we were looking at, coincidentally. Maybe Walmart sent them the wrong one. I don't know what happened. But either way, when the customer contacts you, you want to resolve it right there in the messages. You want to resolve it before their problem becomes your problem. Because because as soon as they open the case saying that they didn't receive the right item, it starts to become your problem. And certainly when a case opens, you need to respond to that case. You either need to refund them or upload a tracking number to prove that the item was delivered. In this case, you should have helped them with a return or just refunded them because they said they got it, it was just the wrong item. And again, returns are so easy. You just go over to Walmart and get a return label. So it should have been very simple to do. Because you didn't do that, eBay stepped in, they closed the case against you, and now you have a defect on your account. And that's bad. You don't want defects on your account. So don't let that happen again, because you get too many defects, you might be penalized for it, and your account could eventually be shut down. So try not to let that happen. A lot of times you can get negative feedback removed. I think you would have a hard time with this one because you had so many chances to resolve this and you didn't. So I think that's enough for that seller. So let's look at a couple of other ones. I'm not going to spend as much time on these because I spent so much time on the first seller, but here's a seller right here. They are drop shipping from Walmart. They're drop shipping these photo frames. What I want to point out about this one though, is that they have not utilized all the images. I wanted to use this as an example. They only have the 5 right here. They should fill this up with 12 without a doubt, do all of them. Also, like, I don't know what they're trying to show you here. Like, what is this? I don't know. So if you don't know what it is, maybe you should get rid of it. I would use this as my main image as well, because it kind of highlights exactly how this item is used. You can clearly see how big it is. It looks nice. This one would be like a nice for the second one to get a better idea of how it's sized and what it can be used for. The other thing about this one, same thing, like this title, there is nothing added to this. This is the title on Walmart. They didn't even fill up all the characters. You want to use all of the characters that are available, and you want to get rid of stuff that people don't care about. The word mainstays, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that it's a mainstays brand. In fact, that could hurt you. Get rid of that. So you want to just have in here that's a black basic poster wall frame. The size is good. You can use Title Builder or Zeek Analytics to help you find some other keywords that people are searching for when they're looking for poster wall frame, just to fill that up with good keywords that people are looking for. What else do I see? 100% positive feedback, so awesome. Buyer pays for return shipping. Like I said, I'm kind of on the fence about this. I hear both sides of it. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these, so I think that's totally fine. And they have location in New York. You know, I would update that to multiple locations, but that's good as well. Coming down here, this is what I'm talking about. This is how it should look, a description. Nice, plain text, easy to read, everything in here, nothing convoluted. This is a perfect description in my opinion. And we'll look at this seller right here as well. Again, use all the main images. This has a really long handling time of 7 days. You do not want that at all. You want to bring that down to 3. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's going to make a huge difference for your store if you can bring your handling down to 3 days. And there's no reason not to do that. You know, you get an order in, you go over to Walmart and fulfill it, order it, or if you have software like AutoDS, it can automatically fulfill those orders for you, and then it's going out like the next day or the day after that. So very fast. I want to look at this seller because they have a bit lower feedback, so I want to see what's going on with that. The reason for that is because they only have 39 or 38 feedback or 40 feedback or something like that. When your feedback's that low, one negative feedback can have this sort of effect on you, where it drops it down from 100% down to 97.5. So that really stinks. That's why it's really important to try to get as much positive feedback as possible and to get as much negative feedback removed. So this is a pretty old feedback. A seller won't answer messages and won't ship. Again, that's something that you could probably solve yourself, right? Or prevent from happening by communicating with buyers, yes, and by actually shipping out your items on time and uploading tracking numbers. And if you did all of that and they left this feedback anyway, you could call eBay and talk to them and say, hey, they're incorrect about this. They must be talking about another order because I've answered all their messages and I have shipped it out, and that feedback should be removed. So if this video was helpful to you and you want to see more of these store review videos, let me know in the comments section down below. Then also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one of these videos that I make. Also, check out the description because I have a free eBay dropshipping training that you can watch right now to learn exactly how you can start your own eBay dropshipping store.